Hey YouTube, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. I received my Hobby Plus CR-18P Builders Edition today. Super curious, it's already my second Builders Edition. I do already have the normal CR-18 Builders Edition. So let's open it up, check what's inside. So here it is. Box with some data. Curious which upgrades it will contain, because the old CR-18 Builders Edition, which is this chassis, which I still did not finish, because that's my test chassis. I use it for a lot of ESC motor and whatever tests. By the way, ESC, if someone of you is interested in this stuff, you know I am super interested. I'm actually testing new brushed ESC from a brand new German company. 3 different versions, still not ready to be released. But if you are interested not only in ready to run and buying upgrades plug and play, but in a little bit of real tinkering, soldering, this will be awesome. And you know, if I say it's awesome, it will be awesome without affiliate links below. But can still take some weeks. That's the V3 now. Super cool. Back to topic. That's the Builders Edition from the CR-18 normal. It does come with the metal upgrade shocks and with wheel weights. And the Builders Edition of the Rockvan, the Rockvan Builders Edition, Harvest Builders Edition, Hunter Builders Edition, so there will be released more. The Harvest is the guy I do already have here from my old Builders Edition. Still didn't paint it, don't like the body post holes they did already cut. It's always a bit of work to close those. You can do this as I did it here, for example. You don't see any openings, but it's a bit of work used. You can use epoxy or UV glue or CA with baking soda, and then tiny thin plate sanding, and then you have to paint it from outside. I hope very much the Harvest Builders Edition, they will change the way of mounting without body posts. So you hear, I guess, the wheel weights. So here it is, the manual, builder's manual. The old one did also come with a nice manual. And here's the body with all the body parts. Let's check this. And I did already see a video the weekend, and it seems this is pre-cut. And yes, this is pre-cut. This is absolutely awesome. Why do I say this? Because I do already have a Rockvan body here, a spare body, but this was not pre-cut. So you see, I had to cut it, what is not a big problem in the wheels or in the wheel wells, but it was quite a pain here in the openings for the light bucket and for the bumpers. And the biggest pain was the front grille. So wow, I used quite a bit of time and needed quite a bit of time. This front grille, I guess the markings were not correct. I had to mount, try, unmount it several times, and cutting those openings was not easy either. And so that's, in this case, quite an advantage. Took me several hours probably. Grill and bumper with the light buckets. Light buckets are not painted. I highly recommend to use, I painted all my light buckets in my Rockvan, my Trail Hunter, Molotov liquid chrome, highly recommend it for this. Looks much nicer and is brighter with liquid chrome inside. The mirrors. Still happy with the pre-cut body. Don't know why they don't do it with the spare parts version. Here are the rear buckets, rear bumper. Oh, that's for the mechanism to open it. Where are the light lenses? Lenses are here inside. I highly recommend to be careful when pressing those lenses into the buckets. I did already unmount them in my rock van and of course mount them in this rock van body, and it's super easy to break those pins, those mainly in the larger ones. So maybe try to heat up the black plastic a little bit before pressing the lenses in, mainly in the bumper. Not super easy, but if you should break them, not a big problem either. You can simply use a little bit of E6000 or whatever. Don't use CA, it will fade. And here's the light unit, and I'm really curious about the light unit. That's bag N, so each bag does have a letter bag P body pins, so probably the manual follows those letters, probably. Let's check the manual too. Bag A, bag P. Okay. Like a Orlando, no, not like a Orlando, but a nice large manual. Assembling the chassis and also assembling the body. Of course, it does also come with stickers and masks for painting. Those are quite nice, worked quite perfect. I still didn't apply the stickers for the windows on my spare body because I'm not sure if I will maybe use flat clear outside or not. But those look awesome, as you can see in the stock rock van. Okay, there are two window sticker sheets. Are they the same, or is one maybe fluorescent and the other one not? They are a little bit different. They do have different license plates. Maybe that's the difference. The only difference. Windows seem to be the same. And those Rockman. Probably because there are two versions of the Rockman. Two color versions you can buy. And windshield wipers. And here we have bag E with the radio and the electronics charger. So same radio with all the settings. USB charger, nobody needs, and the receiver light controller ESC unit. And I'm super curious, maybe you saw a video I uploaded recently comparing the light controller units from my Rock Van with the light controller unit from my T-Hunter, and they are different because the T-Hunter unit does not have a turning light off mode, and I hope the builder's kit Rock Van unit will work the same way as that's my Rock Van. And you see there is no turning lights now, and I can switch off on the lights. I changed to warm white. I think cold white is really ugly in such an old type of van, so I changed to warm white. We will see if those are warm white, those lights coming with the kit. I assume they are cold white again. In the Trail Hunter there is warm white, so there is one version with lights, turning lights off in the Rock Van, and in the Trail Hunter there is no version with turning lights off, so you cannot switch the turning lights off. I will check this in this new radio receiver unit now and hope very much that there is a turning light off position to batteries for AAAs. So here is the light unit, or the lights that come with the kit. The 4-pin is for the rear brake lights. The 3-pin plug is for the turning lights front and rear, and this 3-pin plug should be for the main beams. Did already play around quite a lot with those main beams here or here, and there's only one 4-pin plug, and the turning light plug is the one next to the 4-pin plug. At least that's how it is in the normal or in the stock Rock Van. Battery connected. Always switch on radio first. And now the receiver. Okay, why did they use cold white lights? Check again. Cold white. In the T-Hunter they put warm white lights to the truck. I think the warm whites look much better. Of course I put warm whites into this too, but check this out. I think that's much nicer than the cold white lights here. And we have the rear lights and brake lights. Hope you can see it on camera. And we have turning lights, and the turning lights are on. Of course. Now we switch the main beams off. Turning lights on. Turning lights on. Turning lights on. Turning lights on. Hazard lights off. Turning lights on. Why did they do this? They obviously used the same receiver light controller unit as in the T-Hunter. So there is no position as is here in the Rock Van. Check it out. That's the ready to run version. No lights at all. And here there is no position without turning lights. Hazard lights off. So you are running in the field, crawling, and every turn you do, of course you can simply plug them off and don't use them. But I think at least hazard lights are quite cool. I don't need turning lights, but I don't know why they changed this version, and I don't know why they used those cold white LEDs again. In the Trail Hunter they used the warm white ones, so not very happy with this. Of course I have warm whites here, but mainly changing warm white LED, the cold white LEDs to warm white ones is super easy soldering job. But the turning lights, you can't change this. As soon as you plug in the turning lights to the receiver light controller unit, you will always run with turning lights, even if lights are off. Is there brake light? Brake light is always on too, but that's okay. Only brake light is okay, but turning lights, that's not so nice. Here's the servo. I didn't change the servos in my T-Hunter and my Rock Van so far. I didn't have problems. They were quite okay. Is it a metal gear or plastic gear or metal crown, plastic crown servo? I even didn't check this so far. So let's take it off. Okay, plastic gear servo, so probably sooner or later I will have to switch the servos in my Rock Van and in my T-Hunter to metal gears, better servos. But the good thing is all those micro servos, 20 gram metal or 10 gram plastic of this size will fit. Here's an adapter to be able to connect it to the board, which uses 1.25 millimeter JST-GH plugs, but you can use every normal standard servo plug. JR, you won't be able to use Futaba style. There is no groove, but you can simply cut this lip of a Futaba servo plug. So here the transmission bag B, and it should come with metal gears. That's quite nice. So that's an upgrade. It's also heavier. So that's this optional HD reduction gearbox machine metal gears. Of course it is not differently geared. It's the same gearing. It does only come with metal gears. That's the spare part normally. And let's check if the gears are nicely greased. Probably there are no ball bearings inside. I want to check it. The drive shafts are already mounted. That's quite a pain now, because you have to unmount the drive shafts to disassemble this stuff. There are 3 screws to remove here. Spur gear plastic, but that's always plastic. Also in the, come on, metal gearbox, and you have to remove this one screw here to be able to take the rear plastic cover off. And 3 more screws here. So let's take it off and check. Of course there are bushings, but metal gears super nicely greased. But bushings, no ball bearings. I again will change to ball bearings. If you want to submerge your Rock Van many times, probably you should stay with the bushings. If you want to get the absolutely best performance, you could change to ball bearings. I did already show this to you in my Rock Van and T-Hunter video. You need 20 pieces, 3x6 by 2.5 millimeter, 6 pieces, 2x5 by 2.5. Those are those tiny ones. 4 pieces for the axles, 5 by 8 by 2.5, and 2 large 8 by 12 by 3.5 ones for the front portal axles. So super nicely greased. no ball bearings, but metal gears. So, transmission reassembled. Next bags. 2 bags with the axles, but those are already assembled. Yeah, so not a lot to build. And then I'm quite sure that those are nicely greased too. That was the case in all the stuff I got so far. But maybe let's verify this and open the rear axle to check if there is grease inside. So let's take a look inside. Metal gears and nicely greased, and of course bushings, no ball bearings. And I did already open the portal cover here, come on. And this is also nicely greased, bushings, metal gears of course. So super nice, they greased it. Not so nice compared to the FCX24, no ball bearings but bushings. So reassembled the axles, super nice, but everything already assembled. I personally would highly prefer a real builder's kit as the Orlandos or the Capo Cup 1, where you have to put every screw inside and need quite a bit of time. That's more or less only assembling already prepared parts, so super fast, super easy. I know probably most of you prefer this way, but not me. And what else is inside? The tires, beadlock wheels, probably the same plastic. Yes, I even don't have to open those. Those are the same wheels that do already come with the Trail Hunter and the Rock Van, but also including the super nice and heavy brass rings for the beadlocks. I made a video about those. This improves driving performance already a little bit. So only brass rings is already a good and big upgrade. If you want to use the stock tires, they are not bad. Don't think I have to open those now. And last but not least, the chassis, also already bag A is my last bag I open, also already pre-assembled, and I can already see, unfortunately, that's the front electronic compartment mount, or is it? Yes, with the pinhead bar. They do come, the kit does not come with upgrade shocks. It does come with a cheap plastic shocks. Are they, oh, I did already change those. Are they the short ones of the Rock Van, or are those the longer ones that come with a Trail Hunter? No, those are the shorter shocks, in contrary to the same shocks that come with the Rock Van ready to run. The builder's kit of the old CR-18P, not P, of the old CR-18s did come with those metal upgrade shocks. So probably we'll have to use the upgrade shocks. Those are awesome. I did already make a video about those oil-filled upgrade shocks from Hobby Plus. Super nice, work awesome. Or even use the metal shocks. They are a little bit cheaper, but they are not very good. Not oil-filled, look quite okay. But those shocks are not really good and not really upgradable. Removing the shocks will be a pain again, because the whole kit does come with Phillips head screws as the ready-to-run versions. And those Phillips head screws holding the shocks in every Hobby Plus model so far, and also in the Rock Hobby Katana and in the Atlas 6x6. Maybe you remember the video where I tried to remove those screws and failed. They are horrible to remove. They are super weak, and that's a metal frame Hobby Plus and also FMS Rock Hobby for the Katana and the Atlas. They use a lot of thread locks, and some are nearly impossible to get out. For removing those screws, 1-0 Phillips head, 0-0. I even tried number 1 Phillips head, but they are horrible and some are not to get out, and they should change this. Therefore, I really can recommend, it saved my life several times, the Engineer screw pliers PZ57. And with those, if the super soft Phillips head are already broken, you can't use the screwdriver anymore. With those it works, but if the screw breaks, you have to drill those out. And that was the case, I guess, in the trail hunt, no, in the rock when I mounted those shocks. And there's a second position where those Phillips head screws are awful. In the plastic, you can't really use hex head screws, because those small screws, I don't know any hex heads which have this plastic thread, but in those you can use and should use, and I also did use, normal M2 hex head screws, which are much better to work. And also here in this position where you mount the grill from the inner side, I had to unscrew this and mount it again several times because cutting was so difficult. And those Phillips head, the large black ones, they are also horrible. And here you can also use M2 hex head screws, which work much better. And if you want to tinker and mount all this stuff several times, change here to hex head. Highly recommend it to do this. So that's it, the Builder's Edition of the Rockvan. What will I do with this body? I do already have the black one. Maybe I will use the black one on the normal chassis without portal axles, and maybe even do a 2-speed with a transmission from the FCX24, and then I could build a further Rockvan. Maybe paint it pink and give it to my wife. She does already have a Tamiya Beetle with PS11 pink Tamiya. She likes it, and you know, happy wife, happy life. But then I could save some money and wouldn't have to upgrade it that much, because she doesn't drive it a lot anyway. So what do you get? It's about $10 more expensive than the ready-to-run version. It's about $10 more expensive than the ready-to-run version, and you get the metal gears, which are less than $10, and you get the brass rings for the beadlock wheels. If you want to change wheels anyway, that's not a big upgrade, because those rings won't work with other rims. But yeah, the value is a little bit better than in the ready-to-run version. But what I do not like at all, I hoped a little bit more to get, to be honest. Maybe the upgrade shocks, but they are expensive. Or maybe the inner fenders. You can buy them meanwhile as upgrade. They are cheap and they look awesome. Maybe painted light lenses. I didn't paint them in my ready-to-run, I forgot it. But I painted it in this one with Tamiya clear red and clear orange. Hope you can see it on camera here. Bushings, ball bearings. Okay, I didn't expect to get ball bearings. It's okay. It's a nice truck. But the main downside of the Builder's Edition for me is that it comes with the light unit of the T-Hunter. And you cannot switch off the turning lights. I don't know why they did it. And I really do not like that they again put cold white LEDs into the Rockvan. Why did they do it? In the Hunter, there are warm white LEDs. So I'm happy, but not super happy. But of course, I like the Rockwan. Everybody likes the Rockwan because it's such a cool truck. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope to see you in the next video. I'll be back.